Greetings, blessings. It is the 23rd or the 22nd, but it is the autumn equinox. Today is officially fall in the northern hemisphere, and we are transitioning into fall crops. I will leave the last 5 videos linked right here. Been a lot of transitioning going on in the garden, and I've been documenting it all. If you're interested in that, you can go check those out. But right here today now, sometimes things happen, or sometimes you don't know if you're gonna do something, and then you just have that moment of like, okay, now's the time to do that, I'm gonna do this. You might have not been too sure on it. So I just had that moment today. I put the row cover on. We haven't had our first frost yet. Last year I waited until we got our first frost. So let's go check that out. It put up a good fight. Of course, it was a really windy day. And we got some other updates. So let's get into it. This is that 4th cut of hay that I was talking about. And I didn't mow it because I'm just in this transition period right now. I have enough hay stashed on the wood's edge from the 3rd cut, and yeah, so I'm just trying to use my energy wisely. Worst comes to worst, I mow this down in November, and not even worst comes to worst, that's just what's gonna happen. So can mow this in November, that way it grows up, because if I leave this and it overwinters, that'll make it really hard to get the first mow in the spring, which is what happened this year. So we don't want that again. And this little patch I left, but I finished this side and this back side over here. So it got mowed 3 times in entirety, and I could get a 4th cut if I wanted to. So that's the power of the scythe. And bang. This is the longest row I've ever dealt with. I usually do the smaller rows, but we're growing, we're expanding, so now's the time. So in here is lettuce for heads, kale, and mustard greens, and a few kohlrabi, and some winter leeks. So I got this up in the wind, moved the tunnels that were previously there to over here, and there is a bed of arugula that I actually sowed in late July. I'll leave the date in the description for the date that I sowed this on. So the power of sowing cold hardy crops in late summer. Boom, you got a full hedge of arugula that I've already gotten one cut off of. I'm gonna get the 2nd cut today. I'm gonna leave that tunnel right there to put cover on it so the arugula can go a little bit longer. There's mustard greens on the west side of the arugula, and then right here we have an elderberry that I grew from just sticking a cutting in the ground. So there's a little bit of arugula patch right there too. I may cut this down, take the cuttings, and then put up the last 2 hoops right here, but this row is all kale. In the back, they're new starts just getting established, and there's a daikon and some Swiss chard, so that will take me into November, December. So I didn't know if I was gonna put the covers on this year, but now today I decided, with the gloominess and it officially being fall, today is the day. Here's a whole bunch of potatoes, tomatoes, and squash from the bed flips. Look at that nice powdery mildew. I already got all the pumpkins I needed off of this one, but just goes to show. And then, but if you show, so this is all the same pumpkin, and then the new growth, well, it's starting to get some now, just a little bit, and it's perfectly green, and it got eaten by a deer. So yeah, we are here now in late December, and this is what it looks like. This is what's going on. We still have this whole bed of kale right here, unprotected. On the other side of this tunnel, this is all still Swiss chard and kale, and the mustard greens that are right here are what are inside this tunnel. I might clear out this bed, plant it to some root crops Sunday. There's a space right behind all this for some root crop sowing, and Sunday is pretty much the last day for direct seeding any crops. After that, the daylight, it just gets too low, and they won't establish or finish up in time. So I learned that last year. But it's just this last, I still have 5 days before October on this Sunday, and that 5 days will make a big difference, because if I sowed them any later than that in the first week of October, they just wouldn't establish, unless it was like a quick growing crop like tatsoi or Mizuna Asian greens. But your 55-day crops, not gonna do so well. There's that patch I cleared I was talking about, and there is the Jerusalem artichokes. Alright, so we're transitioning big time. I'm leaving all these tomatoes to ripen for the first frost. We got a whole bunch of cherries still on there. I've been eating them from day to day. I'm gonna harvest this arugula right now, and stay tuned. I'm not gonna open this. This is what I did last year. I put the covers on right after our first frost, which we're expected to get any day here now. I'm just feeling that. And I did not take it off until November. So I may check on it. But yeah, here's to abundant mustard greens, kale and lettuce, kohlrabi, winter leeks, in early November. We will see you on the next garden update. Ooh, I got some lettuce back there I'm gonna harvest too. And stay tuned. Hope this could inspire you in any way, shape, or form. Please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, ideas. Maybe there was something you've seen in the garden that I didn't get into all the way, and you want to see it more documented thoroughly. Check it out. And I want to show one more thing. I have this medicinal cannabis plant, grown from seed. It was gifted to me. I can't remember if it was a seed or a clone. I want to say it was seed though. This is a G13 haze, planted in late June, and all I've done is snipped off the big fan leaves, but it's received nothing but water. And this is my first year doing the topping, so each time it puts on a little bit of new growth right at the top, you pinch it off, and that helps it bush out instead of growing up, and you get a whole bunch of cola buds that way. Alright, so we'll see you on the next one. Much love, thank you for your support. Let me know if you have any questions. Again,